Seems like every time I try to do another bubble window, the wind starts blowing. We're just gonna go ahead and work through it today. It's not as bad as it's been in the last couple weeks, so let's make a bubble window today. I have a couple other videos where I've done the windows. This time I'm gonna break it down all the way because I've had questions about it. And also in this video, we're gonna cover the headlight covers. So I've had a few questions about that. And that was a really easy mod to do. Anybody can do it. So we'll cover that and the window. Let's get into it. Okay, time to blow a bubble window. And this is what we're using. Got this pile of junk right here. I'll explain later. Got a gas grill. Here's the mold. I made this myself. I also made sure to put a curve in it so it matches the back window. And then we've got a bunch of clamps for the mold. Air hose because we're going to use air to blow a bubble. We got the bubble we're trying to match. And we got a new piece of plexiglass. And we got this string right here because we want to make the new bubble window the same size as the old bubble window. So what I did is I added these pieces of wood on each side of it, and we'll run the string across, and we'll put the old bubble in here and run the string across to the maximum height, and then when we put the new piece in here, we can just blow it up to that string. You'll see when we get there. It'll all make sense. Now for the junk pile. Now let me explain. The grill isn't big enough for the piece of plexiglass, so what I'm going to do is remove the lid. And then it has this piece back here that's about 8 inches tall. So I made a thing that goes on there to hold it up above that, and like a shroud to go around it to help hold in the heat, which is this piece right here. And this piece right here is the lid off of an old swamp cooler. Putting that over the top of it to help hold in the heat. So I'll go ahead and pull the lid off the grill, get everything set up, and we'll go from there. Okay, here's the setup. There's the rack, the shroud, using this piece of sheet metal like a baking sheet. Put some parchment paper on top just to make sure there's no residue, the transfer, or make sure that the plexiglass doesn't stick to the metal. So now I'll get the parchment paper on there and get the new plexiglass unwrapped. We'll get this thing fired up, throw the lid on it, see how long it takes to heat it up. Probably about 15-20 minutes. We'll make sure and time it this time so we know for sure. And while that's cooking, we'll go ahead and get the mold set up and everything ready to go for when it's all heated up. Okay, I got the grill fired up. Smells really good, making me hungry even though I just ate. See how long it takes to heat up that plastic. I have it on medium heat right now. Now we're going to address the mold. When I did that bubble window, after I got done, I found an imperfection in it. Couldn't figure it out for the longest time. I finally figured out. I used a valve stem right here to put the air in, and that's raised up just a little tiny bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, and that left an imperfection in the other window, kind of like a little fisheye. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to shave that down a little bit. I guess I'll go over the mold a little bit. I use 1/4 inch plywood, 2 sheets, stuff that I just had laying around. I did put a curve in it for the window because I'm putting these on the back window. I used the valve stem like I just said, and the First time I did it, it leaked air really bad. I don't know if I fixed that yet or not, but I ended up covering it in silicone caulk. That's why I had a trash bag over it, just so everything wasn't sticking to it. Plus, one of the problems I had with the first try was the wood grain showed through from when I had it clamped down on it. This time I picked up a couple more clamps. I hope that helps some. Just gonna have to see how it works out. So I ran the valve stem out the bottom. I've got this on there with the zip tie just to hold it open. And I'm gonna run this little hose to that. I have another one of these on this end so that I can control the air. So I guess I'll go ahead and get this shaved down. We'll get that one in there in the mold, get our string across, and then this should be ready to go. Oh, I'll also get the air hose all hooked up and everything. I'm only running 60 psi on the air compressor. I'm sure I could probably do it with like 30, but it'll just make it go a little faster with 60. I think that's plenty. This will be my 5th try at making these windows. My first 2 attempts were on the same piece of plexiglass. I ended up getting it too hot in the middle and too cold on the outside, so that's when I came up with using the piece of sheet metal on the grill, kind of even out the heat. So I'll go ahead and work on this, get it all set up, and we'll wait for hot plastic. While we're waiting on the plastic to heat up, let's just go ahead and talk about the headlight covers. So this was a real easy mod, and here's what I did. I made a template of it. One works for both sides. When you make your template, make it a little bit small, because that stuff will expand a little bit when it gets hot. This just fits on there like so. I took the template to the local glass shop, and they went ahead and cut these for me, the shape, and all I had to do was put them on. First time I tried putting them on with Velcro so they'd be easy to take off and clean and whatnot. Every time it get real hot, they just fall off because the glue on the Velcro couldn't handle it. So I guess maybe you could glue the Velcro on there and make it a little more permanent. I just went ahead and used some 3M tape. They're on there really good. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, it'll be a pain in the butt to take it off, but you only have to deal with that when that time comes. They used to do this in the 80s on vans and pickups. It's a pretty common mod. It's really easy to do. I suggest you go ahead and do it if you think that's the look you want. It's too easy to not do it. Alright, back to waiting on hot plastic. Alright, it's been 20 minutes on here. As you can see, it's pretty flimsy now. So we'll go ahead and get everything set up to throw it on the mold. I've already got my line running across. I could make a much bigger bubble, but right now I'm just trying to make 2 that match. So I'll go ahead and get the camera set up and everything ready to go and bring you back in. Alright, we got it on there. Get this top piece on. Clamp down real quick. Alright, y'all ready for this? Here we go. Not hot enough. Alright, cooled off too fast. Let's unclamp it again. Pretty toasty. for this. Here we go. This will be the third attempt. First 2 times it cooled down too fast, so I'll let it go 30 minutes this time. We'll see if that helps. Running out of daylight, so whatever happens is what we gotta deal with for now. Well, it made a nice bubble. The problem is I got it too hot. Now it has a bunch of little bubbles in it. Might go ahead and just run it anyways because I'm tired of messing with it. Cue the air compressor. So it's the next day. Here's the bubble I blew last night. Took 3 attempts. I wasn't letting it get warm enough the first 2 times. So then I was like, well, I might as well just mess it up so they can see what it looks like when it's messed up. And no, not to do that. Just kidding. What I really did was I got impatient, turned it on high, and it got too hot. I smelled it when it got too hot, turned it back down, but it was already too late. So this side looks pretty good. But when you flip it over, see all the bubbles? It's full of bubbles. Bubbles are not good. Means it got too hot. But since I don't have time to make another one, heck, it took 1.5 years just to make this one. To finally find time and get the plexiglass and everything. So since I don't have time to make another one, I'm going to go ahead and run this one for now. So the next step is to cut it down so that it fits over the original window in the van, because I'm just going to stick them on the windows. That way they're easy to remove, and so when I do make a good one, I can replace it. So the next thing I need to do is cut it to the size of the window. What I'm going to do, flip this over so we can see all the bubbles. Yay! And this is a template I made of the window on the van. So we just need to cut it to this size. Cut it a little small. I think I was making a template for something else at that time. So it's just taped together, but I put it on here. I think I'll use like a nail and scratch it and mark it that way. And from my research, it seems like the best way to cut it is there's a jigsaw blade made for plexiglass, or the other way is to use like a multi-tool like this. I'm going to use a blade like this because this is what I'm going to do. It says that it'll tend to get hot and melt it a little bit, but I've already melted the crap out of it, so I don't think we got to worry about that too much. Plus I'm afraid with the jigsaw, the blade going up and down, if it would catch or get bound up, it might crack it. I don't need any more issues with it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it real quick and then try cutting it. And then if that all goes good, I'll cut the other one that's the best one. And then we'll slap them on the van. Maybe say it's good enough and then give it the bird. Work on something else. Alright, alright, alright. Got both the windows cut. I used the oscillating tool that I was talking about right here. It worked pretty good. I did a bunch of passes, got a nice groove in it, and then you could really just let it eat. I say out of a score of 10, I'd give it an 8 for ease and ability. I ended up just cutting it into strips off each side, and then I went through and cut the corners off, rounded them. And then I took a little bit of sandpaper. This was like 100 grit. This is some 220. and just kind of softened the edges. Got rid of the sharp edges and rounded everything off a little better. Was able to get the corners a little cleaner. Right now it's kind of windy outside. Looks like it could maybe rain in just a little bit. So as soon as that passes, we're going to stick these on. Like I said before, I'm going to use this 3M tape. So I'm going to go ahead and get the inside of this all cleaned up, get the tape on it. I think what I'm going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to leave just a little gap. So if it gets hot or cold and expands and whatever, some air can flow through and it doesn't just get hot and pop it off. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all prepped, ready to go. As soon as the weather settles down out there, stick them on and check it out. I did test fit them already, so I know they're ready to go. Well, I got both the windows taped up. There's the other one. The wind isn't slowing down yet. Don't look like it's gonna. I've been waiting on the wind too long. Heck, I've been waiting 2 years to put these on. So we're just gonna go ahead and put them on. I already got everything cleaned up. I'll stick them on and then we'll check it out. Alright, I got one of them on. That's the one I made the other night. You can barely tell all the bubbles are in there. Heck, I bet it looks good from your house. Go outside and look. I'll wait. Did you check? Yep, looks good, huh? Alright. Now that we did the side by side, it's about time to put the other one on there. See, it's got a pretty good bubble on it. Let's do the other one. I'll finally be done with these dang things. They look pretty uniform. If you go around to the side and look, you can see that they're both about the same size, shape, so that's a plus. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for hanging out at Van Gogh Garage in windy Carburetor Spring, Colorado. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, maybe subscribe, appreciate it. Bye.